Arms up over the head and stretching open. Bring the arms over to the right side, opening the chest and breathing. Over to the left, opening the chest and breathing. Back over to the right, opening further. And over to the left. Walking the hands out in front and folding over our legs. Opening the spine. Moving the head left to right, just opening the back of the neck. Walking the hands to the right, opening that left side. Stretching a little further. Back to center. And over to the left side. Opening up the right side of our body. Back to center, breathing. And then we start to open up our spine by flexing in and out, stretching and flexing, moving the spine in circles to the right and then the left. And again, making sure we're just opening up the energy in the spine and in the neck. Taking the head over to the right and taking that over to the left. Opening it all up before we start. Taking the arms back behind and just opening the shoulders and the front of the neck. And then counteracting that with a forward stretch. Walking your hands up and namaste. And we start our practice in tabletop. Doing some cat and cow stretches, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, stretching the spine, and breathing out. Continue this. Alternate the right arm and the left leg in tabletop, keeping the spine straight. And then the opposite side, left arm, right leg goes back in balance. Looking forward, pulling opposite sides of the body. Once again, right arm, left leg goes back, keeping the hips parallel to the ground. Left arm forward, right leg back. Moving around and going right back into downward dog. Walking it out, walking out the dog. Stretching, feeling comfortable, letting the legs flex. Up on the tippy toes, just finding a comfortable down dog. Right leg goes up and open up that hip. Looking underneath the right arm. Left leg goes up and opening the hip, looking underneath the left arm. Right leg goes up and opening that hip further, stretching, and then it goes out to the side. Back and out, opening that hip flexor, breathing. Now we do the left leg. Left leg goes back, all the way open, and out to the side. Keep breathing. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Back down to down dog, walk it out. Walking the legs out. Right leg goes up and into the nose. Back and in, working the abs. Don't forget to breathe. And left leg goes up and curls into the nose, head to knee, out and in, head to knee. Realigning the down dog, stretching, opening everything up. Right leg goes back and open the hip. Left leg goes up and opening the hip. Red leg goes back, opening, and out to the side, round 2. Breathing. Inhale back, exhale out. On the right, and then we take the left leg up and back and exhale out to the side. Five and down. Walk it out a little bit, opening those shoulders, and now we take the right leg back and into the nose, working those abs. Inhale and exhale in, crunching the abdominals as you bring the knee to the nose. And left leg, same thing. Knee to nose, inhale up and exhale, crunching in. Right leg back and bring it in between the hands. Bring into a short crescent and back down. Left leg goes up and in between the hands. Opening up the front of the body, knees, and then to a short crescent. And leg goes back. Walk out the dog. Go down into plank in our first chaturanga, opening the chest and downward dog. Breathing, centering yourself. Walking your hands back to meet your feet and hanging, grabbing opposite elbows and letting your spine drop. You can grab behind your legs and pull yourself in, or just grasp your elbows and opening the neck from side to side. Walk your hands back out to down dog and stretch. Jumping or walking your feet to your hands and folding in. All the way up to the top as we start our sun salutations. Breathing in and breathing out all the way down. Opening halfway and back down to your feet. Opening all the way up to the sky. And repeat. Down, halfway up, and back, folding into our legs. Opening up to the sky. Exhale, halfway up, and all the way back to plank. We do chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg goes up. Right leg comes in between the arms. Crescent pose. Leg goes back up and down into chaturanga. Upward dog and downward dog. Left leg goes up, in between the hands. Crescent pose. Keeping the hips parallel. And all the way down into our second chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Jump or walk to your hands to your feet, folding in. Inhale all the way up and exhale, namaste. Inhale up, exhale, fold over your body. Inhale halfway up and walk or jump down to plank into chaturanga, upward dog and downward dog. Breathing, right leg up, comes in between the hands. Crescent pose. It's warrior one, opening to warrior two. Reverse warrior, opening the side body and folding over the feet. You can keep the leg up or down. When you go back into upward dog and downward dog, left leg goes up, in between the hands, up to crescent warrior one and warrior two. Reverse warrior. And circling back over the foot to chaturanga. Upward dog, opening up, downward dog, and breathing here. Walk or jump your feet to your hands. And fold in your body all the way to the top. Namaste. Take a moment, open your arms up and all the way down. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Walk back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, downward dog. Breathing. Right leg goes up and goes right in between the hands. Move the left leg back into warrior one. Opening up to warrior two. Squaring off the hips. And reverse warrior. Side angle pose. And stretching over with the arm. Back to warrior two. windmill down. Right leg goes back and chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg goes back and comes in between the hands. Right foot comes onto the ground. And we go into Warrior One. And then we open up into Warrior Two. Reverse warrior. Right into side angle pose. Arm goes over the head for a deeper stretch. Back to Warrior Two. And we windmill our hands down back into chaturanga. Upward dog and downward dog. Breathing, feeling our body open up. Walking or jumping the feet towards the hands, halfway up and fold into the legs, reaching your hands to the sky. And namaste. Inhale, arms up. Exhale over the feet. Inhale, halfway up and walk or jump down to chaturanga. Inhale and exhale, downward dog. Right leg goes up, comes in between the hands. Warrior One. Open up to Warrior Two, balancing the hips. Stretch out into triangle pose, looking up, reaching towards the sky. And you can have a variation with your arms behind the back or over the head back into Warrior Two and circle down to your chaturanga. Leg goes up or keep it down. Upward dog, exhale, downward dog. Left leg goes up, bring it in between the hands. Warrior One, and opening up to Warrior Two, squaring off the hips. Straighten the right leg and triangle pose. Put the arm in a variation or keep it up over your head. Back to Warrior Two and circling down into chaturanga. Breathing, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walking up the hips. Walking or jumping the feet to the hands, halfway up and folding in. Reaching up to the sky, and namaste. Inhale, arms up, and exhale over the feet. Inhale, halfway up, and walk or jump back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg goes up, comes in between the hands. Open right up to Warrior Two. Straighten that front leg and pull over to triangle pose. Arm goes up. Lean forward into half moon. You can grab a leg and stretch that open, balancing. Back down to Warrior Two and windmilling down. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg goes up, coming in between the hands, opening up to warrior two. Straighten the front leg and go over to triangle pose, opening up the body. Jump forward into half moon, opening up the entire front of the body. Take a variation, grabbing the leg and bending it back. Opening back up to warrior two. And windmilling down to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walking that out. Breathing. Walking out the dog. Feeling everything open up. Walk or jump your feet to your hands and fold in. Taking the feet hip distance apart and standing on the hands, stretching the back, releasing the shoulders, shaking the head from side to side. Releasing the hands. And folding up the spine vertebra by vertebrae into Tadasana. Namaste. Inhale, open, and exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway up, and exhale, walk or jump to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog, walking it out. Right leg goes up, comes in between the hands to warrior one. Now we open to side crescent and back and folding down. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. Left leg goes up in between the hands, folding up to crescent pose, and an open twist to the opposite side. Arms go up and breathing. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walk or jump your feet to your hands, folding in all the way up to the top. And namaste. Inhale up, down to the ground. Inhale halfway up, and exhale down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg goes up and in between the hands. Open up to warrior two. Side angle pose. And we go into a bind, which you don't have to do. Next level. And back to side angle pose. Pausing. Now it's twisted side angle pose to the opposite side of your body. And back down to Chaturanga, inhaling on an inhale and exhale, downward dog. Left leg goes up in between the hands as we open up to warrior two. Side angle pose and binding, opening up the chest further. Back to side angle and pausing over the foot, twisting side angle pose. Keeping the hips parallel. And we reach back to chaturanga. Inhale on an upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walking out the dog. Right leg goes up between the hands. Straighten the back leg. We just fold over the front leg. Opening the back of that leg. And stretching out the lower back. Keeping the hips parallel to the ground. Warrior 3 as we lift our chest. Another version of Warrior 3 on one leg, balancing. Arms go down. Standing splits. Bring your left leg back and pushing the second leg backward just to fold over that leg and open the back of the left leg now. Opening the lower back and the back of the left leg. Pulling it in deeper. Warrior 3. Arms can be in front or the side or the back. Balancing on the left leg. We dip down into standing splits on the opposite side, opening or keeping the legs straight. Folding in, grabbing the toes, yogi toe lock, and pulling your body into your legs for a deeper stretch in the back of both legs now. Releasing that. Taking the right leg and yogi toe lock out to the side. Getting a side angle stretch. Taking the left leg and yogi toe lock and reaching out to the side. And down. Folding in. And rolling up to the top. Now we move our bodies to face the opposite side of the mat. And we open our legs wide, opening the front of the body and folding down. Keeping the back straight. Grabbing outsides of our feet if we can. And folding in. Bringing the hands to center. And getting our head to the ground if we can. Preparing. Opening to one side of the body. Keeping hips parallel to the ground. And opening to the opposite side. Cupping our head in preparation once again for headstand. Bringing the legs up over the head or staying down, but if you can do headstand, this is the perfect time. Aligning from head to toe, balancing, breathing, enjoying a new perspective. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping the body in perfect alignment. Leg variations are back to the ground and walking that out. Coming up to the top. Bending the right leg in, bending the left leg, and circling back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. And the right leg goes up, comes through the arms, and you open to the opposite side, balancing the hips. Arms go back, opening the chest and the shoulders, and coming forward into an arm stretch, a shoulder opener. Arms come down, open the legs a little wider, and the head comes to the mat. Another headstand variation with a different arm hold. Working the balance and coming down into child's pose, resting here. Breathing. Hands over the head, stretching open and coming back to the right leg. Circling down to chaturanga and an inhale, upward dog, and exhale back to downward dog, walking it out. Walking or jumping up to the top of the mat. Exhaling into your legs. And inhaling into chair pose. Side chair, taking the arms over to the right side, twisting. Back to center and over to the left side chair, keeping the arms parallel and the hands into the chest. All the way up to the top, and exhale, namaste. Inhaling. Exhale over the body. Inhale, looking up and back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Jumping to the front of the mat and exhaling into your body. Inhale up to the top and exhale forward. Inhale halfway up and we exhale chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale up to the top of the mat and exhale into your body. Inhaling up to the sky and exhale over your feet. Halfway up, exhale chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Walking it out. Jump to the top of the mat, inhaling and exhaling into your body. All the way up to the sky and exhale, namaste. Taking one foot into the leg, bouncing in tree pose. Arms can go up or stay at the chest, whatever feels comfortable to you. Breathing. And left leg up into the leg, above the knee. Arms into the chest or above the head for archery balance. Right side again. Do another arm hold or the same, and then we take the right leg out to the side, balancing on one foot. The foot goes down into tree pose. Next side. Rebalance the body. Bring the left leg into the chest and back to King Dancer pose. Balancing the body parallel to the ground. We come up and release. Right leg comes in, squaring off and folding over. Great stretch in the back of the leg. Left leg, same thing. Stretching over the leg. Come down into squat, opening both sides of the hips. And we come right into crow pose. Pulling the stomach in and pushing back into chaturanga. Opening the neck. Walking the feet up. Turning to the right side, side crow. Balancing on one arm. One leg can come out or it can stay in. And switching to the opposite side. Side crow, balancing from the right to the left. Stacking the legs one on top of the other. Walking back into downward dog and into dolphin pose. Stretching the legs straight. One leg goes up and opens. Opposite leg and opening the hip in dolphin pose. Come back down into child's pose and breathe it out. Coming into pigeon pose, right leg in front, bent, both hips on the ground, and walking your arms over your knee. And breathing. This is one of the best hip openers. Give yourself about 5 deep breaths, walking it up and bringing that leg back to open up. Left leg comes through, hips on the ground. The leg can be bent in more if you need it, or it can come out further if you're more flexible. And then just reaching over your body and breathing. Toes are tucked under. Again, about 5 deep breaths. Walk your hands back up and stretch that hip open. Come back to tabletop and do a shoulder opener. Bring it to the ground and stretching through the side body, keeping the hips parallel. And bring it out further for an additional shoulder stretch. The higher up it goes, the deeper the stretch. And the left side. Keeping those hips parallel, stretching that shoulder. A little deeper. Coming back to down dog and walking the dog. Jumping to the front of your mat Inhaling halfway up and exhale. Inhaling all the way to the top and exhaling at Namaste. Inhaling again and exhale over your body. Inhale halfway and exhale, walk or jump to the back of your mat, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. Breathing. Now we come down to the ground. Take one leg on top of the other. This is other hip opener. It's called pigeon pose, but it's the easier pigeon pose. Folding over the body, bending at the waist, not the back, but bending at the hips where the waist and the hips meet. And just breathing. If it's too hard for you to put that second foot on top, you can do just regular cross legs. And now switch the feet, other side. Get a nice big hip stretch in the back. Folding over the legs and breathing, bending from the hips. Walking it back up and putting the legs out as we go onto our backs. Here we start some abs, alternate leg bicycle abs, elbow to knee, breathing, elbow to knee, making sure you get that full twist in your abdomen. The slower the better. Take a little rest. Your hands go underneath your buttocks and your feet go straight up and lower. Keeping your abs engaged. Back to the top and lower. Keeping your hands underneath your hips is better to support the lower back. And lower. 45 degrees up and lower. And continue. Now we flex the feet and we do an increment, so we go all the way to the top, down a little, hold, down a little, hold, and then down. Never touching the ground. Pause, 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 and back up, pause, pause, and number 3, then you go again, pausing in between breaths. Take a break. Now we're in boat pose. Just holding it there. Making sure your chest is opening. Holding the abs in. Breathing. Relax. Back to boat pose. And out and in. Breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Never touching the feet to the ground. Never touching the back to the ground. Working those abs. And balance. And breathing. And roll onto the back. Roll around on your spine. Back and forth a little bit. And then back to seated. Come back down to your mat. Prepare for bridge pose. Take the shoulders underneath the body and push those hips up. Keeping the chin to the chest. Hips and knees parallel. About hip distance apart. Breathing and opening up the front of your body. And come back down. And back to bridge pose, interlacing those fingers. And getting the hips up. Breathing. You can take one leg up to the sky, make it a little bit more difficult. Balance it with the other leg. Keeping those hips up. And coming down to the ground. Preparing for wheel pose, putting the arms behind you and pushing to the top of your head first and then all the way to the top. Opening those shoulders, feeling the chest, the abdomen push towards the sky. And a perfect wheel. And coming down to rest. Pushing up to wheel pose. Feeling the full stretch and openness, lifting one leg to the sky, then the other leg to the sky, balancing those hips parallel to the ground, feeling a full openness in the body. Coming down to the ground and relaxing, feeling the open. And rolling from side to side on the spine, just giving it a little massage, pulling one leg in, pulling it over to the side for a nice spinal stretch, spinal twist, keeping that shoulder on the ground and the opposite knee towards the ground. Opening, twisting, creating space. And come to the opposite side, hug in the left knee and pull it over to the right side of the body. Stretching that left shoulder down and the right knee to the opposite side. Opening the spine, creating space. Back to center, taking the right leg up and stretching. Creating space in the back of the leg. Releasing the next leg and pulling this right leg towards the body. and out to the side, creating space in the inner thigh, keeping those hips on the ground as much as you can. Breathing, flexing that left foot, and bringing it back to center and over to the opposite side for a spinal twist. Keeping the right shoulder on the ground. Back to center. Squeezing that leg in and switching sides. Taking the left leg, straightening it out. Right foot on the ground. Trying to make that left knee as straight as possible. Straightening that right leg and bringing the left leg out to the side, keeping the right shoulder on the ground and the left hip on the ground, opening up the thighs, creating space. And taking that left leg over to the opposite side of the body for a deep spinal twist. Keeping left shoulder on the ground and right foot on the ground and breathing. Such a good twist right here. And then you take that left knee in, squeeze both legs in, and take them both to the right side, keeping the left shoulder on the ground, opening the spine, and over to the left side, and the right shoulder on the ground, twisting. Then we take it back to center and just rock yourself up. Both legs come out, taking the right leg in for a side stretch over the left leg, flexing that left foot and pulling your body in for an open side stretch. By this time you're pretty warm, so you can stretch deeper. And switching legs, taking the left leg into the body and stretching over the right leg, folding from the waist. And opening the side body, pulling that left arm open. Stretching the whole left side of the body. And we come back and just folding over your legs from your waist, keeping your knees straight and trying to get the chest to the knees. And come down onto the back. Reaching your feet over your head into plow pose. Shoulder stand. Keeping your spine straight, as straight a line as possible. No curvature in the back. Pointed toes. Flexing through the legs. Keeping the shoulders in and rolling back down into fish pose to counteract that stretch, opening the chest and flexing the back, keeping the abs in and breathing. Coming down to the back and squeezing the legs in, coming into Shavasana, resting pose. We stay in this pose between 5 and 15 minutes, taking in all the work you've just put into your body and your soul, and letting your mind go as you slip away and relax. Namaste.